We are back. Is this thing on?
It's on and rolling.
And we are back. This is What's Cooking with Fanny Boo. I'm the boy Chef C with 2 E's and the place to be. And to my left,
Chef Fanny.
And that's right, though. This is episode 27, right? And we are definitely excited to get back in the swing, right? After taking a little break from the Olympics. Yep. First of all, how you feeling, though? You looking good, though. How you feeling, though? How you feeling?
Feeling good. How about you?
I'm feeling great, though. I can't complain, though, so I won't. So first off, let's cheers to that, right? We pop it off there, though. Cheers to that. Cheers to episode 27. Appreciate everybody who's been patient with us, though, right? We've been wanting to deliver some content, but we know with the Olympics going, though, it wasn't too much additional content being watched.
At all.
You can ask the potters that were aimlessly potting for hours and hours with nothing to talk about, right? So we just will always want to deliver great content, engaging content, so you can either learn something, laugh about something, or cry about something. So, first off, we always want to start with our thank yous, right? We always want to give our appreciation, most definitely to those who've been checking out the site, fannyboo.com, those who've been purchasing the cookbook, those who've been purchasing the seasonings. If you haven't, it's also not too late, though, right? We talking about you, too. We thankful for you, too, for your future purchase, right?
Yeah, thanks in advance.
It's never too late, And then we also want to let you guys know we have released our second cookbook, right? The Soul Food Cookbook. You got a little something you want to say on it, or what?
Yeah. So it's here. It's out. Y'all asked for it. We got it. It's out for you guys. It's on Amazon. It's on the site. We got the digital version. We've got the physical print copy, right? If you order it straight off the site, you can get that autographed. And then, we had a price drop on the first one, right? So go ahead, check it out. Check out the site. See if maybe it's more in your range, right? And we got what you need on there, though.
Absolutely, though, and we appreciate it, though. And those is from the words of Chef Fanny herself, right? So the Soul Food Cookbook is live, right, on both Amazon and fannyboo.com. Make sure you run and get that. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend again, right?
And another friend.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean. So off top, right? We always, we start off giving thanks, right? And then we jump right into our burning question, right? So since it's been a while, right? We're watching the Olympics, right? Watching the athletes get out there and perform to maximum abilities with less than adequate conditions, from what we hear, right? So we wanted to focus on, kind of giving you guys some of the science behind, what's going on and what you need to do to stay afloat, right? Because one, you got to eat good, but two, you also want to stay hydrated, right? Yeah. So burning question for today, right? Is water enough to keep you hydrated?
That is a good one. And we've got some info for y'all because no, it's not. It's not. Everyone always says drink lots of water. That's great. Mm-hmm. But you also need different minerals. You need certain sodium levels to be able to retain that water, right? And to be able to utilize that water in your body, or else it'll be just as fast as you consume it, it'll be right out of you. So
you sweat it or digest it right out of you, right? So 100%, right?
Yeah.
And don't get us wrong, right? You definitely need water. I think it's more than what 60% of the body makeup. The body makeup, right? So you definitely need water to fuel your organs, right? And make sure everything's flowing correctly. However, it's simply not enough to keep you hydrated. We're gonna get into a little bit more of what you need to stay hydrated, right? The essential nutrients,
different electrolytes, right?
Absolutely, it's a combination of things, right?
And how to tell what you need.
Absolutely. So we got that for you today. Right? Burning question was quick because we definitely got the information for you guys lined up. So we don't want to waste too much time though. We want to jump right into that though. So what are some of the signs though that or what are some of the physical telltales that would let you know that you may need some more electrolytes or you may be dehydrated?
Okay.
Other than like maybe dry lips, right? Dry skin and a dry mouth, right?
Right.
What else?
Okay, so there's plenty of signs to show that you're dehydrated, right? And different signs show that you are having a deficiency of different electrolytes or minerals, okay? So let's start with sodium. Okay, sodium, salt, right? So sodium, if you are low on sodium, you're going to experience headaches, fatigue, and muscle weakness. Those are going to be your top 3 signs that you need to add more sodium to your diet or to your liquids, however you want to consume it.
And obviously, before we go too far, right? Obviously, you know, sodium gets a bad rap in these streets, right? Yeah. So you always sort of think, oh man, I gotta keep low sodium, but too much of anything is bad for you, as a wise person used to say, right? So you want to keep your sodium to a minimum, and you want to make sure you're using it to stay hydrated, though, right? Because if you go too high, right, you're gonna have hypertension, high blood pressure, leaves you at risk for that. You go too low, it's gonna lead low blood pressure, right? And dehydration. So you're gonna have that fatigue, headache. There's gonna be all kind of problems though. So make sure you're managing your sodium intake daily though.
Definitely. What else we got? Definitely. So next we're gonna move on to magnesium, right? And there are actually drinks that are solely magnesium drinks, right? And signs that you are low on magnesium. The first one is constipation. Brain fog, and muscle cramps. Okay. So the tightening up, you know, the first one was muscle weakness, right? And there is a difference. There's a difference between the muscle weakness, muscle cramps, muscle fatigue, and soreness, right? So muscle cramps, brain fog, and constipation are going to show you that you are low on magnesium.
And those former athletes, you know, all about a muscle cramp, aka a Charlie horse, right? Yes. So you know what it's like when that calf lock up and you can't get it out, that hammy lock up. You reach your back lock up, right? You don't want those problems though. So make sure you keep the proper level of magnesium in the system.
Absolutely. And while we're on the topic of muscle cramps are also an indicator of low potassium. So muscle cramps, excessive thirst, and heart palpitations are going to show you that you are low on potassium. Quick fix, banana. Have yourself a banana in the morning of or middle of the day, good snack, you know, and you can go ahead and avoid all of that.
That's right. You can check the last part from when you should avoid eating bananas. Right?
Different times of day that are best and worst to consume, right?
So if you get that potassium in you early, right, you should be good, right? But don't, you know, keep it measured, right?
Right. Absolutely. And then next is going to be calcium. Okay. Calcium is definitely important for us to have. If you are short on calcium, you're going to experience numbness or tingling in your hands and feet, aka your hands and feet falling asleep, right? And then brittle nails. So that's more of a long-term effect, right? But those are some things that will keep you hydrated and also avoid those side effects. Okay. Next, you need chloride. If you are short on chloride, you will experience diarrhea, which is the opposite of that magnesium deficiency, right? So diarrhea, fatigue, weakness, and then extreme dehydration where you're just experiencing everything. So you definitely want to keep that chloride in your diet. Sodium usually comes in the form of sodium chloride in your food. So, you know, keep the sodium low, but not completely obsolete, right?
100%.
And then the last one is going to be a bicarbonate rapid, right? And that's a mouthful right there. But you're gonna bicarbonate. My bad, y'all. Bicarbonate. Definitely need that space bar. Bicarbonate. I'm like that. I don't remember saying that, but bicarbonate. Rapid shallow breathing, fatigue or weakness. So you're gonna experience like the passing out aspect of dehydration. So that's once you're low on bicarbonate, you're kind of extreme. Right? Yeah.
And you know, ultimately, right? You know, you just want to make sure you can eat your hydration, right? But you can also drink your hydration, right? So you get the right nutrients in you, right? Make sure you got the sodium, the magnesium, the potassium, the calcium, the chloride, and the bicarbonate all together as a package deal, right? Then you'll be out here skin glistening, right? Make sure
you looking hydrated.
Hey, for real. For real, though. Hey, shit. Yeah, I take the hat off and see it's wavy.
So
what else we got though? So that's the electrolyte efficiencies, right? So make sure you stay hydrated out here, especially if you're in a real humid area, right? Where sometimes it doesn't get that sunny, but that humidity is really is drawing that water out of you, right? Drawing those nutrients out of you. You wanna not only have the right fluids in you, right, the right amount of water in you, but you want to make sure you're following that up with nutrients and minerals, though.
Right.
What we got?
I'll say real quick. And if you don't know what the humidity is or feels like, check your weather app on your phone. It always scroll down a little bit. It shows you how humid it is. It shows you the humidity percentage. So check that out. Be in touch with your, dial in with your local weather, right? And make sure you're prepared.
I can just tell you right now, if you're anywhere in the south, right, and then maybe like the East Coast, you're going to be experiencing a lot of humidity, right? Near the water, near the south, right? So, hey, man, you know what it is. You've been living in it. If you haven't, you're new to it, man, you step outside, if your glasses fog up, there's humidity, right? If you go outside and your lotion bubbles up on your skin, it's humidity though, man. So you gotta make sure you got the right nutrients before you hit the brunch, right? Before you go get your tequila shots. You need to make sure you properly hydrated, got the right electrolytes, and you're in tune with what your body's telling you though, because your body's calling you. So what else we got for them though?
All right, so really quick, I just wanted to run through some recalls, right? We're not going to drag you
what's
through
greasy in the streets.
What's greasy in the streets?
Talk to us there, Chef Bandy.
So just real quickly, importantly, for those of you with babies on formula out there, the CVS Health and HEB baby formula has too much vitamin D. It's more than the legal limit that's permissible. So avoid that. Just avoid those brands for now until it's been cleared. And you can always check the FDA website to see if it's been cleared or not. On top of that, several brands over the past month of ground cinnamon have been pulled from the shelves. Reason being, there's been a massive lead contamination. So lead. So lead.
Like some cinnamon, cinnamon with a taste of honey. It ain't funny.
So just that real quick, and then at Aldi, I know Aldi has gained a lot of popularity as far as their shoppers. Their jalapeños, green peppers, and green beans. The brand is Freshire Farms. It's only sold exclusively at Aldi. Listeria contamination. So just
watch out for that Listeria.
Be mindful, be careful. If you have some, wash it extra well if you're not going to toss it, all right?
Put it in the trash.
Just
throw it in the trash.
And then just the last one really quick. At Kroger, which is also Food for Less, Ralph's, Tom Thumb, right? They have a brand, Supreme Produce, and then there is a brand that's exclusive to the Houston area, which is multiple stores, Snowfruit. Both of those, their vegetable products are contaminated with Listeria also, so that's going to be your pre-chopped veggies, the kabobs, the pre-chopped, the pico de gallo, guacamole, salsas, etc. Don't worry, HEB is safe.
I'm about to say though, man, HEB got a nice little pico de gallo, little chip and dip for you though.
Absolutely. But just Kroger and then the Houston area, just keep an eye out or just make it homemade. But don't use the green peppers or jalapeños from Aldi if you do. So that's it on the recalls for today. Just short and sweet. Those are the main ones. I think you guys would appreciate that.
Nice. We appreciate you wrapping up what's crazy in the streets, my Chef Fanny. Right, and now we want to move on to a couple, just a few things that can help you with your gut health, right? We seen a couple trendy items, and then we also we want to do a quick segment on youth athletes, right? On how they can perform. And how they could be at their best, though. So kick us off with some of the gut health facts.
All right. So just real quick, we've touched on this topic before, right? Gut health is very important, and as a society, we're learning a lot more, right, about how the microbes are associated with even brain health and brain function, things like that. So just some quick ways to improve your gut health. I wanted to give you a quick list of things that you could add to your diets, just everyday diets. So step it up a notch, right?
Break them down.
So we've got asparagus, chickpeas, rye bread, lentils, quinoa, bananas, beans, pistachios, cashews, and almonds.
Cook them
Kombucha, of course, right? Ginger, yogurt, and pickles. So, or anything pickled for that matter.
Ooh, so that's a nice little list to improve your gut health, though.
Yeah, a lot of those you could just have on their own as snacks, right? You can make yourself a little homemade Lunchable, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, no. Let's just stay away from that, though. I don't rock with the Lunchables, though.
Well, just get you some pickles, get you some nuts.
We'll call it a charcuterie then. Don't call it a Lunchable, call it a trail mix.
Yeah, charcuterie box trail mix.
We'll call it everything but a Lunchable, though.
Yeah, so there's just that, and then we could just jump right into our youth athletes segment, right? So just with school starting back up, right, across the globe, right? Yeah. Just, a lot of sports are popping up too, and the kids jump right into it at some schools.
And before we even go into that, I gotta give our kids a little shout out, right?
Absolutely.
They definitely got busy this track season. Definitely if you haven't seen on my page, though, that they competed very well, 50, 100, 200, 400, it didn't matter, 800, 1500, 3200, though. Yep. It doesn't matter, though. If you run, if the meet has it, we running it, though.
Right.
And we trying to win, though. So our kids went down the state, performed great, and that's it, though. You feel me? Under the age of 8, though. So rock with us, though. You know what I'm saying? You see a couple videos, you see me doing a little training, right? A couple hurdles. I can't show y'all everything. I can just show y'all some. Hey man, rock with it though. If you rock with it, drop in the comments what you rock with though. Cause I know y'all seen it. So the video did $25 piece though. It's hella motion. It's dummy motion though. So tap in though, dial in though. You know what I mean? If you want me to send you a little video so you can get your youth athlete ready. Right, I can get you a couple of drills. I can get you hip with the program, though. You feel me? It's the program, though. You feel me? But go ahead, though. Let's talk to them.
All right, so we're going to touch on some key components for success for your youth athletes. We're going to touch on some challenges in nutrition, and then we're going to give you 8 easy nutrition habits that you can implement around the house, right? So the key components for success, resistance training is extremely helpful, right? So you use free weights, bands, and body weight exercises to build strength and explosiveness.
Absolutely.
So this is especially great for the very, very young or beginner athletes because it doesn't really require too much equipment and it's not pulling so much out of their bodies that when they're fresh and new to it, right?
Absolutely. And if you're worried about studying your young athletes' growth, right, you start off with very, very minimal resistance, right? Like we started off with a very light parachute, right? Luckily, there's a little breeze, right? So that's the resistance we need.
Right.
We're not putting on them on heavy weights. We're not putting them on the sled. We're not doing anything like that because they're under 6 and under, right? So, but if they're older athletes, 14U, 16U, right, you need to go ahead and turn up, right? But you also need to pair with that protein intake as well, so they can see the growth.
Absolutely. Go ahead. Protein for the muscle and carbs for that energy. But we'll get into that. So number 2, as far as the key components for success, is going to be rest and recovery. It's very easy to get carried away. Just like, no, we're doing it every day nonstop. Yeah. Rest at the end, whatever. No, you need to rest and recover, right? Incorporate massages, cold and hot baths, and adequate sleep. Sleep is very underrated these days. Take the phones away and tell your kids to go to sleep and make sure they're going to sleep early enough to get the full 8 to 10 hours
that's recommended for the youth, right? And especially right, they see with the newer technology, right? You see they have the massage, the leg massagers, right? They got the compression sleeves for the legs, all of that, right? So they have cold tubs that you could purchase and put right outside, right? So it's not like how it was back in the day. I hate to say back in the day, right? But back in the day, you had to go get, a whole bunch of ice, right? Then you had to fill up the tub. That's old school though. Now they have specific devices that are tuned to the young athlete's recovery and Trent. You got the cryotherapy. Shout out LeBron. Though. He puts damn near $1 million into his recovery. And that's why he's able to perform like that at a high age.
And preserve, right?
Absolutely.
Preserve your body, though.
And then that adequate rest, right? You got to rest your brain. You got to rest your muscles so they can grow, they can heal, right? Yeah. So if you're beating down your muscles every day, you need to rest them so they can recover and heal, though. And the building block of muscles, right, is amino acids, right? So you need to make sure you get your protein in you. So if you are working your athletes, you're resting them and then get that recovery time so they can rebuild back up, though.
Yep. And then, so that rolls us right into number 3, which is proper nutrition. Proper nutrition is extremely important. You're going to want to balance the intake of protein, carbohydrates, and fats. You want to make sure that you're hydrating well and also ensuring adequate vitamins and minerals, okay? Take it the step further and go ahead and get them a solid daily vitamin, right? Like get them solid nutrition. Try to steer away from the processed foods when possible. I know things get busy, life happens, and sometimes you can't avoid it or it's quick, whatever, but there are always healthier options when it comes to stuff. You could do grilled instead of fried. You could do air fried instead of fried, baked, whatever, but there's so many different ways to step up the health of the food that you're providing, not just for yourself. When you're on your diet trends, you're trying to get some gains, you're trying to lose a couple, but the kids are important too. The kids need it the most. Need it the most because what you put into them at the young age is how their body's going to develop and get accustomed to and yearn when they get older. So if you want your kids to grow up and be strong and live long, make sure that you're starting them off on the right foot, though.
Absolutely, and it's easy, right?
Yeah.
You can start off. You can find them like a little child's multivitamin or a little daily vitamin that they could kind of start off taking. Absolutely. Right? You can implement some protein with their breakfast, right? Maybe an oatmeal or grit or cream of wheat, right? You got to try to stay away from those sugary cereals, right? Because they don't provide many nutrients for the child, and that's the first meal of the day. So if you're giving them a sugar high, they're crashing before lunch, and they're acting sporadic, erratic, and they're not growing, right? So then you also want to come back and you always also want to make sure that you avoid caffeine for your children. Right? There are plenty of ways to get your kid, if your kid seems a little bit a little sluggish, right? They need a little kickstarter, right? You need to implement vitamin B12. You know what I mean? That's a very good natural energy provider to make sure that they get what they need, right? And then there's plenty of other things that go along with it, right, that we touched on. So you just want to make sure that you're avoiding the wrong things and going towards the right things, right? And what are the right things? The natural things, right? So, there's plenty of former athletes, right? There's plenty of other people that kind of give bits and pieces. I know Amon Ross St. Brown's pops, he's going crazy on social media right now. Right, there's a lot of people, we giving it to you. My pops raised two sons. We went crazy, right? We went crazy in the sport. So,
and we just told you we had the 6U go to state.
Going crazy, went down there and tore it up, though. You know what I mean? With a month and a half worth of track. You know what I mean? I wasn't even really training. I started training, and then it's up. So, it's some of it's genetics, but a lot of it is what the environment is giving them, though. So you need to be proper on the nutrition. They need to get plenty of rest, right? They need to focus on the resistance training, right? So they can build muscles, maybe a couple push-ups, little squats, right? Nothing too crazy, right? All body weight early so they get used to the movements, and then it's up from there if they got a little hunger.
Yeah. All right, so then we're just going to go to a few challenges in nutrition. I'm just going to give you a couple quick solutions to those challenges, right? Nice. So the first challenge in nutrition is lack of supervision, right? So athletes often make poor dietary choices without guidance. So if you're sending your kids to school with just lunch money, like you'll grab something there, at the very least, if that's the route that you have to take, let them know, don't get the pizza today. Look for something that's gonna have a leaner meat. So just encourage a turkey burger or some chicken tenders or some chicken sandwich or something. Maybe even a salad double meat, something like that, right? Or if you can, pack their lunches for them. And if if that seems to be, you know, maybe a little challenging, include them in the process. A lot of people have said that, you know, including their child in the process of picking what are some of the items, right? Like I'll pick a snack, you pick a snack. There, you know, like there's the balance, there's compromise, right? And they got to make sure to eat all that. So
absolutely.
So there you go. That's one. The next challenge is inconsistent meal timing. So busy schedules can lead to skipped meals. You want to just always be prepared, right? So if you can have some stuff that's already prepped in the fridge at all times, like maybe beginning of the week, make a bunch of like high protein burritos or something, put them in the freezer, or sandwiches, or just always have some protein bars nearby, or something that's going to be like just healthy, nutrient dense, right? We talked about nutrient density in a lot of our episodes, right? But you know, just high amount of all the good nutrients and everything that you need, just to get them, you know, nice and full, nice and fueled, right? And just ready to push on without making poor decisions as far as their nutrition goes.
That's facts. Because as an athlete, when given the temptation, we're gonna make the bad choice. We're gonna get the greasy pizza. We're gonna get the double cheeseburger, right? Because we don't get to experience that a lot. If you're sticking to the script the majority of the time, right, you'll end up, you know, let me get a donut, right? Let me get some of this little ice cream, right? You don't really, and once or twice isn't too bad, right? But when it becomes consistent, right? Once they get that sugar on the tongue, right? And it's in that tooth, it's over, though.
Sugar is addictive. Like we don't talk about that enough in society as a whole, right? But sugar is addictive.
It's one of the most addictive, one of the things, one of the highest. Some people are more addicted to sugar than anything else.
Absolutely, and that not only does that lead to all of the immediate consequences, right, of the erratical behavior, the crashes, the bad nutrition, but that can further down the line, long term, lead to pre-diabetic at an early age, diabetic at an early age, which can also lead to different diseases. You know, we could do a whole pod on that though, but yeah, we touched on it before.
Run through 1 through 26.
But that also leads us to number 3 is poor food choices, right? So hunger often results in grabbing unhealthy snacks. Very true. So if it's out the house, it's not there to grab, right? So try and stock up on healthier snacks. You know, if there are things that your child in particular favors and likes, try and look up and see if there's a healthier version of it, right? There's always going to be a healthier version of everything available. If we're not giving it to you, Google can, though. Like, and it's you know, as much as I want everyone to get everything from us, hey, I understand. Google it, Pinterest it if you must,
or
right?
Or ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I wouldn't always focus on Google, right? I'm not pro Google, right? Per se, right? You know what I mean? But just do your research. However you do it, do your research, right? Read the labels, but search. Pick up a book.
And a lot of these
favorite athletes.
Yeah, and a lot of these labels are misleading, so make sure to be thorough. It's something that I'm becoming better at myself, right? But just being thorough is very important. Just because it says high protein, you want to make sure something is at the very least at least 10 grams of protein per 100 calories. That would classify it as high protein. If it's anything less than that, then I would just say it's pretty much not what you're looking for, right? So then just real quick, we'll get into some easy nutrition habits that you can incorporate in your day-to-day, right? And that should help you stay on track and keep your young athlete on track also. So just real quick, you want to eat every 2 to 3 hours, not necessarily the adults, so as much as the kids. Kids get hungry a lot. They have a tendency to not be able to.
Kids,
Kids have a tendency to not be able to eat as much as they need in one sitting. So you don't want them to overeat and get sick. You don't want them to be malnutritioned and only eating what they can in one sitting and it's spread out too far, right? So like I said, healthy snacks in between. It doesn't have to be a full meal every 2 to 3 hours, but, you know, a bar in between, or, you know, a little, you know, meat tray or something, you know, just some protein chips, something in between, you know, that'll get them what they need.
They really just want to be able to feel like, you know, you don't want to always have to feel that tingle in the stomach or that fire in the stomach because a lot of times you'll need that fuel to push forward, right? Depending on how intense the sport is, right? You're running cross country, right? You're playing football, basketball, and you need a lot of stamina, right, it behooves you to go into it on an empty stomach, right? But if you're running like a quick 100-yard dash, 200-yard dash, it's okay to be lighter, right? And then just fuel up after. So, always, think about the sports you're playing, right? There's a lot more information out there today than there was before, right? A lot of athletes are sharing their secrets, right? So dial in. Dial in.
Yeah, and it's out there. If there's something you don't know, literally type the question into whatever your search engine is, be it an AI, be it a internet browser, right? Whatever, type it in. Stuff will pop up. I promise you some stuff will pop up. And then again, get at least 8 hours of sleep. Some kids need up to 12 hours, and
8 to 10 is good. 12 is too many, I would say.
They say
that's a half a day though. You can't sleep for that long, right? You get to 12 hours, you're gonna be sluggish though, bedridden, right? It creates a sluggishness though.
But it doesn't have to be consecutive either though. So it's like, if you have a kid that's getting 8 to 10 at night and they need a 1 to 2 hour nap in the middle of the day, if they're at home, right? If they're pre-K or maybe 5, about to go into kinder the next year or whatever, and they need that nap, you could tell though.
Or if they have insomnia, right? If they stay up all night, right? Some kids may or may not go straight to sleep, right? Others do. So monitor, check it out, man. Understand that some kids may or may not go straight to sleep at night, and they may need naps throughout the day to kind of suffice or supplement that nighttime sleeps, or lack thereof,
right. And then so back on the nutrition, you want to make sure that your child athlete is having at least 4 servings of a lean protein daily. Sounds like a lot. It's really not. A serving is 4 to 6 ounces. It's not that much. So even if they get double meat, there's 2 servings, right? So, and if I said 4, there's 3 meals in a day. So just a full serving, about 20 to 30 grams of protein is going to be your full serving. Anything more than that is absolutely a bonus.
Right.
You want to avoid the overeating. So have them stop or slow down when they're at about 80% full, right? So you don't want them to eat to the point where they're like, oh, I gotta lay down, or I feel like I need to unbutton my jeans. Like, whoa, that was a lot. Like, it's okay. Save the rest. 2 or 3 hours pass. You can finish it up. You can finish it up then. Now you're staying on that 2 to 3 hour schedule. You're getting all those same nutrients, and they're not having the adverse effects of overeating in one sitting.
Right. And if you can get your athlete to understand, right, they're eating to fuel up, not just eating to get full, then they'll definitely understand that, right? So say, hey, that's man, major. Your stomach feels content. Could you play your sport after you eat? And then if they say no, hey, you overate. They say, yeah, I feel great. Boom, that's the perfect amount. So just monitor, right? Communication runs the nation, though.
Right.
Bar.
right. Where are we at with it? So just teach your children to learn their body, right? And to be able to understand what they're feeling and what they're experiencing and where they're at, right? You want to include at least 2 servings of fruit and vegetables daily. I think when we were kids, they used to say 4 servings. Now it's just 2. I would say go for vegetables over fruits if you can. If they are not very big on veggies, find the ones that they do like, or see how it works, or find some way to add that fiber into their diet, because that's extremely important too. If you're taking in too much protein and too many carbs and not enough fiber, they won't be able to digest it, and it's going to be a hard time for them. They'll become dehydrated. It's a whole chain effect of bad stuff. So you just don't want that, right?
And I wouldn't necessarily take veggies over fruits. I would say keep it balanced, right? If you have the option to do 4, then do 2 and 2, because one, you get a lot of your digestion out of an apple, right? Out of some certain fruits, right? Yeah. Same with vegetables, right? So keep it balanced, right? Make sure you're hitting the numbers, though.
Yeah. And then you want to incorporate healthy fats, right? So just as many healthy options are low in fat, our bodies do need fats to be able to function properly and digest properly, right? So healthy fats are going to come from nuts, avocados, things of that nature. Just natural sources of omega-3s. Salmon is very high in good healthy fats, right? And then you also want to have them consume 4 to 6 servings of complex carbs. Complex carbs are going to be, just to simplify it as much as possible, a dark carb over a white carb, right? So brown rice over white rice, sweet potatoes over regular potatoes, wheat bread over white bread. Those are going to be the options that you want to make, right? Oatmeal is going to be better than a processed breakfast cereal, right? There's so many ways that you can go about it, but you just, when in doubt, just go with the darker, more whole, less processed option, right? And then where are we? You want to have them drink 1/2 to 1 gallon of water daily. Well, a gallon is excessive, obviously, for a young child, right? But just as much as they can. If they can get through like a glass every hour or so, that's
glasses,
great.
I believe.
Yeah,
that was the norm back in the day. Make sure you have about 6 cups of water a day.
Right.
I don't know if that adds up to a 1/2 gallon or 1 gallon, right? But I fact check me on that. Drop in the comments.
It's a little bit less than a 1/2
gallon.
But
for kids, make sure you get in the little 6 to 8 glasses of water, right? You just want to stay hydrated. You want to keep your organs moving well. You want to keep your skin looking good. You want to keep your eyes functioning, etc.
Yeah. And then just overall, with all of this, you want to adhere to a 90% rule. So the 90% rule is just, apply the habits 90% of the time, allowing for the occasional indulgences. Obviously, it's you don't have to be super military strict on them. They're still kids. Let them be kids, whatever. Like you said earlier, donut is fine every so often. Go ahead, have the slice of cake at the birthday party. But, now if you're eating cake every day, that's not going to work, right? But, supplements also help fill nutritional gaps. I prefer to consume things naturally through foods and beverages, but if you're finding that it's hard to get some of those nutrients naturally, if your child is a little stubborn or is a little resistant to certain things, there are supplements, and nowadays they create chewables and gummies for almost everything.
Plenty of that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Plenty of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So in totality, right, when you're dealing with the young athlete, right, there's a few key takeaways that you want to walk away from this with, right?
Yes.
One, if they're working out for a certain sport, make sure they're being trained correctly. They're getting the proper rest, right? The rest and recovery is almost more important than the actual training, right?
Yeah.
You do the resistance training, you got them on the bands, you got them doing jumps, right? You got ankle weight, all kind of crazy stuff. Everybody's got their niche, right? I'm not gonna say which one is right, which one is wrong, because everything works for each individual. But make sure they're getting proper rest and recovery, right? Put that ice on them. Yeah. Make sure they get their 8 to 12 hours, man. Put them in the cold baths. They'll go get the leg compression sleeves. They'll make the investment in the recovery just as much as you would in the workout, right? Also, make sure they're getting the proper nutrition.
Yes.
Right? So if they're not eating right and getting the proper nutrition, then all of it goes out the window. Right? You send your kids to the personal trainer 2-3 times a week. Yeah. They come home, they eat burgers, they drink soda, they're eating a lot of cheese, breads, and that kind of stuff. All of it is out the window.
Yeah.
All of it, right?
It cancels it out.
So, and then at the end of the day, make sure they're eating correctly, right? So that's kind of stems with that one, right? And make sure, so proper nutrition, they're eating correctly at the right times, right? Yeah. If they're eating too late at night, boom, that's stemming over into the morning. They upset stomach, doesn't feel right. Yeah. Too early in the morning, lunch too far apart, right? There's that void where they have that burn in their stomach. So they don't want to have to feel less than, right? They want to always feel 100%. So make sure they're getting 3 solid meals, 2 to 3 snacks, right? Yeah. 2 to 3 snacks, and the totality of maybe 6 times eating per day is what that works out to. Right. And then if your athlete has it, if they got it, right?
Yeah,
so if they have the want to go out and perform, make sure you're doing your job by giving them what they need to succeed, though. And that's word from the boy Chef C.
Yeah.
But so that wraps that up, right? We're going to move right on to the would you rather, though. It's going to be a short segment today, right? I got a couple quick questions for you. Because I don't know if you have any, right? But I want to start you off, right? Because I had a good pico de gallo the other day, right? And I had a very nice chip with it, right? Low salt chip, low sodium chip, right? And I was like, dang, would you rather have chips with pico de gallo or chips with guac?
That's like a
because you could do both, but then if you do both, you overheat.
Yeah, no, you're right. It kind of just depends on the mood, though, because it's like,
I don't think it does.
I mean, but it does, though, because the guac is, it's going to be way higher calories because you got the avocado, but it's also healthy fats. It is healthy, but it's very easy to eat. I'm gonna go pico. I'm gonna say pico because it's nice and light. It's nice and fresh. The majority of your calories are going to come from the chip itself. And if you're out and about, you can't quite pinpoint, are they deep frying them? Are they air frying them? Are they adding salt? Is it too much? So yeah, I'm gonna just have to go pico, because by the time it's just, tomato, onion, cilantro, lime, and jalapeno, like, that's gonna be a healthier option, I think. You end up eating more than you initially planned, I think, and I don't want to eat too much guacamole, though.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I got another one for you.
Oh, all right.
Would you rather give your young athlete, right, a protein bar or a protein shake?
I hadn't even considered that.
And they're very similar, right? But the consumption is different, right? So you just think like, oh man, you can put the water, you can get the hydration mixed in with the protein bar. I mean the shake.
The shake, yeah.
Oh, my. I don't want to lead you. I don't want to guide you.
I'm actually gonna go shake.
Okay.
Because with the shake, I can add things to it to add some nutrients, right? So I can always add a banana to the protein shake if I'm within reach of a blender, right? Or if there's some vitamins I could put in there, little super greens or something. And I think also it'll hit the system quicker because you're drinking it, it's already broken down. So as opposed to the bar, it's going to take a little, you got to digest.
About 20 minutes to hit the system.
Right, 30 minutes to digest. So there's that. And I think, you flip a smoothie to the kids or a shake to the kids, and they're all for it, though.
True.
So I think, I'm going to go shake. A bar is great for on the go, though. It's always great. You find a good one that they like, you're booming. But I don't think you can go wrong with the shake, though.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I like that, though. Did you have any? Are you good, or what? What you think?
You know what? Actually, I do. You have brought up the Olympics earlier, right? And how they had them in Paris. And so I guess I would ask you, would you rather pancakes or crepes?
That's easy one for me, though. I'm a pancake guy. Give me some flapjacks, though. You feel me? Put the flapjacks on the plate, right? A little syrup, right? We're good. I don't even want the butter on my joints, though. Don't let me see the butter sitting on my top. You better butter them things before they come out, because I don't want to see the butter on top. That makes me disgusting.
The big scoop right on top.
Yeah, the most of the margin or whatever. I mean, some butter is good for you, right? Healthy fats, right? But in very, very small portion.
Right.
However, I don't need it to start the day, right? So I'm gonna go pancakes, right? Give me a protein pancake, a whole wheat pancake,
okay.
Right? And then I'm out, and then I'm ready for the day, though, right? So give me a banana pancake, right?
All right.
That's gonna give me my potassium, right? I'm gonna be hydrated.
Okay.
So I'm gonna eat my nutrients, right? I'm gonna eat my nutrients and get hydrated. So being raised as an athlete, right? Shout out to moms and pops, right? Y'all held us down, right? So we was able to kind of learn different things, even if we didn't think they was that, right? So appreciate y'all. Appreciate everybody who's tuned in, right?
Yeah.
It's been a long journey, right? We come a long way, though.
Right.
Ever since the inception of Fannie-Boo, right? We got the cookbooks, we got the seasoning, right? This is episode 27. Yeah. We plan on going many more, right? We got the second cookbook is dropped, right?
Yes, check it out.
We appreciate everybody that's gonna run and cop that, right? It's out now, though, on all on FannieBoo.com and Amazon.com. Go get that. Right, and you know, ultimately, we just want to say thank you and appreciate you guys for sticking with us, man. Because we know we've been working on the content. And we do the best we can, and we appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all for giving us the motion that we need to keep going. Though. Yeah. You feel me? So. This is What's Cooking with Fanny Boo, episode 27. I'm the boy Chef C with 2 E's and a place to be. Woo! And to my left we got
Chef Annie.
And we are out.
All right.
Peace, love.